I appreciate you being vulnerable enough to listen to this podcast. Because it does contain scenes of violence, adult language, and if we did our jobs right, which we are trying very hard to do, disturbing subject matter. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
Fan-made ad this time, guys.
Ooh.
There is but one God, and no others before him. But you have been made to believe he is a smiling, benevolent God by the fools who stand in his light. Come and be welcomed by the followers of his divine shadow. Revel in his mercy. Pray that you are beneath his notice. Cower in his divine shadow. Free coffee and lunch every Tuesday.
Yay!
Guys, don't you want to join my church?
No.
Hello and welcome to The Stars Aren't All Right, the Lubecast, if you will. My name is Brian, and I will be your keeper for this evening. Tonight, joining me are my good friends, my compatriots. We have Alex Collins, Leah, Tom, and Catherine. That's right, Alex is the only one getting full names because he's in trouble for sins that he is already aware of. Before we get into it, I would like to go around the table, and I would like you guys to introduce yourselves and your characters, and then, that's not where the asks end. I still have further demands of you. The next demand is, tell me your character's
Sin number.
No, I want your actual sin numbers and your mother's maiden names, but your character's rebellious teenage phase. What did that look like? And we'll start with Tom.
Oh, God. Hi, my name is Tom, and my character is Alastar Bran. If Alastar were to have a rebellious teenage phase, it would be going out into the fields of Cutane, lush and rich as they are, and cow tipping.
I love the redneck that is. That's amazing.
Would it be like 15%, 20%? What would he tip?
Oh,
Depends on the service, really.
yeah. What are the cows giving me in return? Running out of the fields, cow tipping with his family, his siblings, that is. Yeah.
So the whole family affair. Dad also going out
Dad
and
just running into the field. Oh! The cows.
Back when I was living in Ontario, me and my friends tried to go cow tipping, and the night that we got like unbelievably wasted. And then they lived on a farm, and then we were like, let's go fucking find some cows to tip because they lived right beside a big dairy farm. But that night, the most unbelievably thick fog you'd ever seen in your life had set in, so we actually couldn't find cows to tip. We were just meandering through the field and falling into like cow shit and just being like, all right, let's call it a night, boys. Anyway.
And then a cow came out of the fog and pushed you guys over.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, how do you like it? Okay, great. Thank you, Tom. Let's go, Catherine.
Hello, I am Catherine, and I play Juno Angevin, our local preacher, or our intergalactic preacher, and Brat. Juno had quite a close eye on her in her teens, so didn't have a lot of wiggle room to be that rebellious. I think this is probably her rebellious teen stage at the moment. But she did get into a little bit of trouble when she was at the monastery with someone who we may get to meet later. We may not get to meet later. Who... They did a little bit of sneaking out. They just did a little bit of good teen fun things. Yeah, I don't want to get into too many spoilers.
Okay.
Suspicious.
Suspicious. I am imagining like Christian youth group rebellion where like
I'm also
That's
thinking,
exactly what it
cousin
was.
stuff.
that's okay. That's actually not what I was thinking about, but
The monastery was in Alabama. Okay.
because that's just normal. That's just romance in
Well,
Alabama.
Alex is very close.
No,
so
I was
maybe
thinking-
spoilers.
There's like Christian youth group rebellion is like one of the girls gets a nose ring and then you talk about it for 17 months. Like that's usually like Christian youth group rebellion in my experience. But
Also, Brian is very close.
What?
two.
No, just of Juno's rebellious
Oh
phase.
yeah. All right, fair enough. Yeah. Juno
It wasn't
got
her nose that was pierced.
damn. All right.
Do you remember
Well,
sternum piercings?
is that like a bullet?
Sorry, explain, Brian. Explain.
Well, you know, like when you get shot in the sternum, it technically pierces.
weren't those
Yeah.
like a thing back in the
Yeah, I
day?
remember that.
Sorry, no. We're going back to Brian. So if you get shot in the sternum, it technically pierces?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Am I
right.
wrong? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Point like on the doll to where I'm wrong.
I hate it.
I think we all just pointed to the head.
Great.
Like belly button piercings?
No, like your sternum.
Sternum.
Like it was like a in between your pecs piercing.
Is this like a
It was
dermal?
mostly girls.
How would you
What?
wear a
I thought it
bra?
was a guy.
Well, you can get like subdermal
Yeah.
piercings.
Oh, so
I thought it was
gross.
like a thing that
No.
girls would do when they would wear like low cut tops. You're like, oh, I have a sternum piercing.
Oh.
What girls were you hanging around?
Ones with sternum piercing.
Obviously.
The ones in the magazines.
The ones in the magazines. All these magazine girls with their low cut tops.
I like that we're
He's like,
making
that was a thing, right?
young
Yeah, that was a
Alex.
thing.
Young Alex is just sounding like a newsie from the 30s. He's like, all these magazine girls with their low cut tops and the sternum piercing.
Alex, do you want to go next?
Alex, yeah. Why don't
Fuck you guys.
In the hierarchy of who gets shit on first, it's me, and then a very close second is Alex.
It really just depends on the barometric pressure of the day. Truthfully. Oh man.
Fucking cloud front rolling in because it's Alex's turn.
Go ahead, Alex.
My name's Alex Collins, and I play Smoot Holly, the intergalactic tariff crab.
No, that's canon. He's
Yeah,
you
Smoot
did
Holly
your homework.
skitters back and forth across the galaxy, interrupting intergalactic trade and making sure it doesn't go where it's supposed to go.
And his
Yeah,
rebellious phase as a teenager.
Oh, he flirted with free trade and making the universe better for about 60 years and then decided to be a fascist prick again.
Damn.
God, I love that crab.
God, that crab. That crab is gonna make the Promethean Highway great again.
I agree.
Yeah, apparently Alex was like using subtext and stuff, and I was just, let's rip that fucking Band-Aid right off. Alex, could you go ahead and do your actual character?
Oh, yeah. I actually play Pyotr Gaius Maitland, and Pyotr's rebellious phase was getting into the humanities and arts instead of hard sciences like his parents wanted him to.
Damn.
And that's how he ended up in the dismal science of economics.
God,
Damn.
the most humanitarian of all the arts degrees. you
Yeah,
can get.
ask Smoot Holly about it.
You know you can't make economist references to me. I'm not that smart.
You have all seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You all sat through that lecture. There was a lecture on the Smoot Hawley tariffs. You should all remember it.
Why do you think that's the part that sticks in my brain?
Brian, he also
Bueller.
just like introduced him as a crab like 30 seconds
You're right.
ago.
Y'all
This
are too
episode
smart.
will get underway eventually.
Yeah, I think
Eventually.
the audience, you should treat this as a good indication of the things to come. Leah, can you save us from ourselves?
Help us.
Fine. I'm Leah, and I play Glade Walker. And would you say Glade's moody?
Glade has like one mood.
Yeah, there's either like murderous or satiated. Those are the two Glade moods.
Is she childish?
Can be.
Can be. Yep,
Yeah,
can
yeah.
be.
Gets angry quickly.
Yeah.
She can.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we're doing a Backstreet Boys thing.
Covers her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's currently living out her teenage rebellious phase.
Damn.
Oh, just the hair. The blonde hair is going to get black one day and just all go in front of her eyes.
It's not just
No,
a phase,
you don't realize
Juno.
that behind the mask is like the blonde hair is black hair.
She has a black fringe.
Yeah, black fringe.
The reason you wear masks all the time
God.
is you have "I'm not woke" tattooed across your cheeks. Amazing.
I'm not woke.
Woke. You know, like the MCR song, "I'm not woke."
I thought this
Fuck
was
all you guys. All right.
Guys, it's been a little while since we've gotten together.
Yeah.
We're starting to get to know each other again.
Exactly.
We're really just getting into it.
We're just finding our rhythm, you know?
Just desperate for a
rhythm-
life raft in that scene.
Yeah, the rhythm was not. It's not okay.
It's not okay, dude.
Okay. Well, team, shall we get into a nice little satiatable recap? In episode 7, Caspi was still alive. Yay! He mumbled that he had an agreement with the Scotsman for medical care before Juno morphine patched him into infinity. Alastar tripped to silent alarm on Caspi's maps that summoned said Scotsman's goons. Parentheses, LOL, end parentheses. Glade elected to stay behind to settle her debts with the Scotsman before moving forward with the crew's business. The other three went back to Pyotr's pad, registered trademark, where Pyotr got Doug to get media magnate Wrench Ducktangle to cover the library opening tomorrow morning. He also asked him to make several investments in his name. Glade was restrained by the three men who showed up at Caspi's place, then driven to the Scotsman's club. There, he confronted Glade with evidence of her trying to kill him and invited her to take her shot in a fistfight. She got KO'd, but she did well enough that the Scotsman was obviously pleased with her, promising that they'd, quote, do amazing things together, end quote. He also hinted strongly that he was a former Reaper who had never had his memories wiped. Alastar decided to dip. He almost convinced Juno to give him the book to bring to Jax, but Pyotr talked them out of it. When he got there, Jax revealed that Corpsec had plans to conquer the whole galaxy after stealing the secret of the angels from TepCorp, and that particular betrayal had led Jax to the Church of His Light, specifically the Jesuits of Christ. Alastar, through some unbelievably lucky dice rolls, managed to shoot Jax in the chest 3 times, but then succumbed to a barrage of gunfire that came through the walls. Also extremely lucky rolls. Just when he thought his ticket was well and truly punched, Creed Meloche showed up and saved the day. Alastar obviously thought the old man was dead. They traded quips back and forth before Alastar claimed Jax's data center, and the two of them got the fuck out. Wild. Anyways, Apocalypse Now, that will bring us to where we are now.
Which is
The location.
The location,
of
the place,
where
the events.
take
Your time.
Glade.
Mm-hmm.
Glade is swimming in and out of consciousness.
Not in pussy? Okay.
Not in and out of pussy. As you do, you remember the scribe reminding you that memories would slowly start coming back to you over time. You hazily remember looking at the vid screen with your bare face being broadcast across a Promethean highway after the tragedy on Kakusureta. There is a smiling doctor hovering over you, and a flash of red. Distant sounds of gunfire, alarms going off, the acrid scent of smoke in your nostrils. Everything is a blur of panic and endorphins. And then the crackle of fire, the smell of burning plastic and metal, the screams of the wounded and dying. You look down, and your hand hands, both of your hands, are covered in blood, and they begin to shake. But then you hear in your head, Glade, in a gross perversion of Felix's voice. You look on the floor, and there is a twisted hunk of burned metal has been blown off the wall, such that you can see vaguely the shapes. Almost looks like two eye holes, and what could be shaped to a grinning hole for the mouth. And you start giggling, and then staccato, a second afterwards, the giggling starts in your mind. And then you fade to blackness.
Lovely.
That's fucked.
Yeah. Alastar, you are also slipping in and out of consciousness. As you come to, you are in the back seat of a car. You can hear the roaring engine and kind of coming in and out of focus. You see a Creed going, "Come on, stay with me. Stay awake. Stay awake."
Yeah. Trying. It's warm in here, though.
Not, kid, I got the windows down. You got a fever? Come on, talk to me.
Just tired.
Just tired. Okay, we're almost at the Scotsman's. Don't worry. We're gonna get you to the hospital.
They've got good booze there, you know.
I know. They got that real Kutane shit. Remember, you gotta stick around for that real Kutane shit, okay?
I'm not going anywhere. It's just tired.
All right, that's my boy. And then he starts to fade out once again. Pyotr.
Slipping. In
and out of consciousness.
Egg salad sandwich.
But then you finally come back to, because the belt that you've attached to the lamp on the wall behind you loosens.
Pyotr, what are you doing in here? Is this some type of autoerotic?
I thought I closed that door.
This is disgusting. Don't do that with us here. It's
Pyotr's
just...
gonna wipe the egg salad off of his torso. Try and clean himself up a little bit.
Sometimes I just don't understand you.
Could you please leave, Juno? This is not for your eyes. Or anyone's, really.
Normally, I would say yes, but I'm actually find that I'm a little worried about you, Pyotr.
I don't understand why.
Well, you seemed to have a plan, and we are going along with your plan.
This is part of my process. It's all part of the process, Faith Juno Angevin.
This, and she points like up and down him.
That was a general motion. I don't know if you're referring to something specific here.
This is a part of your process. Nothing necessarily specific, but your whole deal is kind of
Relaxation
disturbing.
is a crucial part of any intellectual pursuit. Now, we've got, 12 hours until the library opening?
I think you should talk to somebody. Not me, but someone. Yes, about 12 hours before we have to talk at the opening. And to be honest, I haven't practiced nearly as much as I'd like to.
Incredible. And is it morning, evening? I've been here for a little bit. What time
only
is
been
it?
here for about 15 minutes. I don't know what you're talking about.
I love the notion that Pyotr sends Doug off and then immediately starts gooning.
I had to go crank
I thought that door was closed
I've just been standing in the other room.
for 15 minutes, knowing full well what was going on.
Well, I didn't know full well until I walked in here,
You
did
had
I?
suspicions, I imagine.
Well, I did have suspicions.
Bro was just sanding the obelisk in another room.
Anyways, there is a plan. There is something that we are going to do. Now, Doug and I have some very important business to attend to, and it involves my craft, my field, the field of historical astroeconomics, and involve Doug and his set of skills, and it may involve you, Juno. Now, I understand that you are supposed to make an appearance at this opening.
I don't know if I want to be involved in whatever, again, she motions up and down, whatever this is.
You're very closed-minded for a counselor, you know that.
What? I am very open-minded, but you just rub me the wrong way sometimes, Pyotr. Why are you laughing?
What you did there.
Both Alex and I had an aneurysm as we were trying to figure out which of the 1,000 jokes that popped through our head.
You know, Pyotr, and she grabs his hand and then immediately drops it when she realizes that she has touched him.
It smells like coconut.
Of course it does. You know, Pyotr, I do respect that whatever happens, just what you say or what I see, I mean, I have a high level of discretion here. And
that is a valuable skill, and it will be needed in these next crucial hours. And Pyotr's going to kind of stumble over to the window and throw it open. Pants still around his ankles.
maybe you should. And then she gets cut off.
And go, it's a new day in Gate City, and it is a day for execution and for things to happen, Faith. We are going to make a speech, and the speech is going to be vital. It will revolutionize the galaxy. Now, can I count on you for an introduction?
You can introduce me if you like.
No, the other way around, Faith. Again, the library opening is about the science and the art of historical astroeconomics, and I need you to introduce me to good soul-worshipping people and let them know to listen to me.
I think I can do that, Pyotr.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Pyotr's going to move to pat you on the back, and I assume you kind of dodge.
Nope. Yep.
All right, let's do an opposed roll.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Roll anthropology opposed by the dodge.
Hey.
We're loose, team.
Yeah.
We're loose.
I think we're having a great time.
So that's a fail on anthropology.
That is also a fail on Dex. What happens if we both fail, Brian?
Rollies. Just straight rolls. Pick a dice. Whoever gets higher wins.
I got a 95.
I got a 94.
God damn.
So I think the most awkward back pat of all time.
Your
happens.
hand that smells like coconut and egg salad is what you said?
Egg salad, yes.
Egg salad kind of brushes my hair. And you get a coconut and egg salad in my hair.
I have legit done this trying to hug somebody before where my hand has gone into their hair because I wasn't fucking looking.
And was your
It's
hand
terrible.
covered in coconut oil?
Yeah, coconut and egg salad.
I don't remember. It's real bad.
Canonically now, Juno has coconut oil and egg salad in her hair until she
make it out.
showers. That I will introduce you, but physical affection is not necessary, Pyotr.
Oh, good. I was worried. Yeah. Now, leave me be. I have much rehearsing to do.
As long as you promise not to do whatever.
I make no promises.
Juno runs out of the room.
Well,
You hear vocal warm-ups coming from the room.
la la la.
Or
la,
so you
la,
hope.
la, la.
Juno tries to get as far away as Pyotr. Actually, what Juno does at this point is she goes through the apartment and she goes, "Is this really? He just." I mean,
There's still two bodies kind of sticking out of the fridge.
I forgot about the She
The
hasn't.
fridge is just fucking humming like it's an aircraft about to take off.
She hasn't even she's not even worried about the bodies, but she's looking at some of your soul memorabilia from Earth, some of your family's old artifacts and antiques.
Would Pyotr have anything
Roll
there?
spot hidden.
That's what she's looking for. How is this the first one I've ever rolled?
Wow, way to use it now.
Yeah.
Guys,
Oh,
there is
God.
no God.
Wow.
I mean, I can tell you about the bullshit you're looking for, and then Brian can have stuff to add after. But Catherine, you look around this, like, decently nice appointed suite, and you're looking for something that would give you some type of insight as to what, like, where did Pyotr come from? What's up with him? That kind of stuff. And you realize that aside from copies of his work, the fundamentals, the principles of historical astroeconomics, there's nothing. There's no pictures. There is no memorabilia from Earth. You realize that everything in here is like the furniture, the little tchotchkes that are on the countertops, all of the food, all of it's either Doug's, and you can smell what's Doug's, or it's just like generic hotel bullshit that somebody has left here. None of it belongs to Pyotr. Oh, except the bottle of grain alcohol and the hair dye.
And in the fridge, the like Hellman's giant size.
He made egg salad by eating half a jar of mayonnaise and then just putting the eggs
That's
into
exactly
the
where,
mayonnaise.
yeah.
That's all a grown boy needs.
Wait, is it deviled eggs or would it be egg salad still?
I think we've strayed far enough from the face of
You're
God
right.
that the distinction is honestly arbitrary.
Either one's made with hair dye, too. So.
Juno, what you could reasonably infer from that is that there is a deliberate severance of this, like not something you see typically amongst primaries, but there's kind of a deliberate severance from the Sol star system that seems to have occurred.
I thought he was proud of where he came from. But there might be more going on here than I even initially, and then after that, and then after that, and then after that expected. He is a complicated man, and I wish to know not so much more, to be honest.
You hear what you hope is gargling from the bedroom.
There has to be a room further away from that room than this, and she tries to find the furthest point in the apartment away from Pyotr.
Very reasonable. Okay, Pyotr, previously you had Doug go buy some stocks for you.
I did. And so the exact instructions to Doug, and he was standing in front of me and I was looking at my collection of belts, was, now, Doug, I want you to go and I want you to short, that is, buy contracts betting against the following tickers, the following stocks, okay? Go to the bank, take out all my credits. There should be 96,000 credits there. I'll give you the power of attorney and take those out and bet against all of these stocks. First one, SpaceX EQT. Second, Jackson and Johnson.
Oh.
Third, Tramp Coin. Fourth, the P&V 500 index. Fifth, the Ass Crack index. And sixth, I want you to bet against cats, just the concept of cats.
Alex, I don't actually know if you know how close you may be to the actual future of our economy right here.
Should we make like an Alex index and we actually and see how it does?
Let's go.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That's your job.
The
I don't know how to do that.
idea
You can do that.
of cats. Great.
I assume Doug has no questions.
Yeah, Doug is just like, well, that all checks out, of course.
I know I could count on you, my friend. Now I have much preparation to do. And he walks over to the fridge and grabs a jar of mayonnaise.
He's like,
Past the bodies.
yeah, you didn't take the mayonnaise out of the fridge. They're not animals. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you for that. 96,000.
You guys are so welcome. Let me tell you,
Credits.
you're all so welcome for what I just did the past 15 minutes. Especially you, Leah.
Okay. Well, on that note, Good Lord.
Guys, we almost did horror. Last
almost
episode,
did
we
horror.
almost did horror.
Yeah,
It's good to know that we're going back to our roots.
exactly. We have trouble.
Ryan tried.
I do my best. Glade, you finally wake up fully from your dreams. The smell of the kind of like coppery aftertaste of blood in your mouth. The acrid scent of smoke seeming to linger even as you take a deep breath, and the closest approximation to fresh air you can get in Gate City filling your lungs, it still takes a second. It feels like that scent is still clinging to the inside of your nose. And then you open your eyes, and they are kind of blurry. Could I get you? Last time you were knocked down to 0 hit points, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Roll a con check or die. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck you.
Could you roll a 1d6 plus 3?
8.
You regain 8 hit points.
Well, fuck me.
You just rolled like shit last time, Pyotr. Alex is just staring at me like, dude.
Is she receiving medical attention or something?
No, I'm just that good.
You open your eyes and
Suck
you
it.
see probably the biggest man you've ever seen.
It's the hospital.
He is wearing an apron, a frilly apron with a red cross on it. And as you open your eyes, he just touches your nose lightly and goes, boop, boop, boop,
Stop.
boop.
Okay. But frankly, ma'am, you're not a medical professional.
I love him. I love him so much.
Glade goes to move her arms.
You are restrained in. That is correct. And then you hear from the base of the bed, I wouldn't argue with him, Glade.
Sorry, the fact that you have to go between this like terrifying.
And he goes, thanks for backing me up, boss. No problem. Hospital.
From Kermit the Frog to this like terrifying Scotsman is hilarious.
I got range. I got
You
range.
have range like nothing else.
I do have nothing else. That's correct. The
Only thing going for him.
And then the hospital looks at you one last time and then just very slowly hovers his finger above your nose, but doesn't quite touch. And then under his breath, you hear him go, boop. And then he turns to go care for his other patient. And turning your head, you can see Caspi lying there, fully intubated, a heart rate monitor, keeping track of him, IV hooked up.
Is he okay?
We're not gonna know for sure until he wakes up. It's hard to predict how much brain damage, the kind of, what he went through with his cybernetics. But I'll tell you this, he's got new eyes on the way. We're gonna do everything we can to get him back up and running again.
Right. Does Glade have her mask on?
As you kind of like shift your face in like this moment of panic, absolutely, your mask is still on. And in fact, there's this moment of difficult, kind of like almost this painful separation, and you realize there's a bit of crusted blood that had been connecting your mask to your skin, and you have this moment of insight that the Scotsman did not let them remove your mask while you were being tended to.
Looking at her restraints, looking at the Scotsman, makes eye contact with him. So, what's the plan?
What a great question, Glade. One perhaps you could have led with. We might have avoided all this, although I must say. And you can see he is spotting a shiner on his head from where you clocked him. And there is some kind of like dried blood on his face. Like he has obviously refused medical care, and he's grinning like an idiot. I so enjoyed our dance.
Yeah, it was great.
You made a good showing of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the plan is, Glade, what the plan has always been, to chip away one stone at a time, of the foundation of the powers that be, until I get what I want.
Is this where I'm supposed to ask you what you want?
That would be nice. But I think you can guess.
A blowjob?
You're no in a state to offer me that, Glade. But no, Glade, He just kind of looks around. I want everything. Gate City, make a hell of a fiefdom, don't you think?
Yeah, I suppose.
And there's you, with knowledge of where the book is.
The book?
Oh, she's bashful. The Librum Demente.
Right, yeah. Of course you know about it.
Always have multiple paths to victory, Glade.
Well, I can tell you that's not it.
Oh?
I'd say you'll see for yourself, but if you do, you're gonna be dead.
I've heard stories, legends, of what happens to those who look at the book. In fact, they say that's what happened to the old Belende. Apparently it did himself in. That's how it ended up at Usagicity. But now I have a first-hand account. Did any of your number look at it?
Glade thinks for a sec. Well, none of us looked inside it. But some of us may have seen it.
Catherine's making very dismissive gestures with her hands.
Nobody looked. Nope, no. We didn't know.
He just kind of smiles. He says, I'm no the USC, Glade. I'm no the Navy. I'm no TepCorp. I want to be a king, but I have no problem acknowledging what I need to hold power, unlike the cowards who currently do.
I mean, if you're holding that book, then everyone's gunning for you.
Have you figured out what's in it yet?
As one might guess, there's words.
You can do better than that. Head trauma or no. Come on, Glade.
I mean, fuck. I don't know. It's fucking beyond me. There's aliens that are held by this book. I don't know. Scotsman, honestly, that book is dangerous, and I don't want any part of it.
It's no unwise. What do you want, Glade? I'm honestly curious. You've always been hard to track down.
Well, for one, I'd like to be out of these restraints.
Now see, that's always been my impression of you. It's no bad thing, but always the immediate problem in front of you. But where's the roadmap? Where are you going?
Glade contemplates. 'Cause she's never honestly thought super far ahead.
As Glade is thinking, he says, that's how they get us, Glade. When you live on the street, your problems, they're immediately in front of your face, and they're immediately solvable. Where's your next meal? Where are you gonna sleep next? And when you grow up like that, that's the shape your brain takes. In order to beat them at their own bloody game, you need to learn to think just a few steps ahead. Now for me, and he kind of leans back and stretches, says...
Glade rolls her eyes.
He pretends not to notice. Leans back and stretches. He says, for me, well, I always thought a throne would suit me nicely, but what is it you want, Glade, in your heart of hearts?
Well, even if I did know, what the fuck do you care?
Now see, that's how you build an army, Glade. You can give people a bit of credits here and there. You can promise them power or wealth, but if you can figure out what your people really want, and you can figure out how to give it to them, that's when you get people who will fight to the bone for you. That's another free lesson you can take.
Gee, thanks. Well, how about I'll think on that. But really, can we do something about these restraints?
I suppose so. He gets up and holds a key in his hand, and then there's commotion. Doors to this infirmary area burst open. Alastar, as you arrived to the club, Creed had called ahead, and you kind of phase in and out of consciousness. The next thing you're aware of, you are on a gurney being rolled into this room, and you can see Glade there looking worse for wear, and the Scotsman, and you see Caspi, and you were wheeled kind of in between the two of them, and the biggest guy you've ever seen, wearing a frilly apron with a red cross on it, just comes over, looks you up and down, and then slowly extends his hands out towards you till he gets to your nose. Boop.
Holy fuck.
Boop.
You're the biggest man I've ever seen.
Thank you. You got shot.
Yeah. Bad.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna help you.
Okay. Is this part of the treatment or something?
This is just for me.
Right.
Glade, you see Alastar wheeled in, looking like he's been shot several times. As if to say.
As if to say he's been shot several times.
She looks between Alastar and the Scotsman, back and forth a couple times. Alastar, fuck happened to you?
I swat the hospital's hand out of my face.
Oh,
Ah.
with respect, you're not a medical professional.
Right. My bad. I got shot, Glade. Bad.
Clearly.
I want to go try and deal with a threat to the rest of everyone, including you. And
And Glade stops herself.
I'm going to look to Glade, right? Just nod.
The crew okay?
Just nod. I took this heat for them, right? It was coming for him if I didn't do something. And so I did something.
Okay. Good. That's good. Thanks, I guess.
No, I'm sorry that my being here caused more grief for you and your friends.
You've always been a bit of a martyr, kid.
Oh, fuck.
Creed, standing there beside your bed. And Glade, you see this older man, looks like half his face, a ruin of burn scars. He says, "They're probably going to put you under. I'm going to stay around.
Thanks.
I'll be here when you wake up."
Thanks.
And then you just, from your peripheries, see a finger come in. Boop. Boop. They hook up an IV, and you slowly fade away. Glade, you can see this old man standing there, still smelling faintly of gun smoke, still very obviously armed, little spatters of blood on his face, and he's just staring down at Alastar, an expression of almost patriarchal concern. Is that the word? Yeah, patriarchal concern. I could probably just say fatherly concern.
Oh, right, that's a word too.
Yeah.
A type of concern that really likes you, but it's not sure you're ready for voting rights.
Glade turns back towards her head towards the Scotsman and kind of rattles her arms.
He just takes a step up. He goes, "Right, yeah." He undoes your shackles. And then he looks at Creed and he nods. And Creed nods back. Go ahead and make a psychology roll, see if you can figure out what they're trying to say to each other.
Are you saying they're both nodding as if to say?
As if to say, that's
Nodding.
exactly what I'm saying.
Hey. Holy shit! I could maybe. It's a good roll. I'm not gonna spend that luck, and it's gonna be a failure.
A fail. Okay.
Yeah.
On a
Yeah.
failure, there's a little bit of surprise in the Scotsman's face, but between the two of them, there's a kind of respect that's, this, it's not friendship. It's the respect of like two predators who have decided to not fight each other at this particular second.
All right. Glade slowly gets out of the bed to try to stand up.
You are woozy. And then just as you're about to get up, you just feel a little hand on your nose.
Boop. You should rest for at least another night. I have to do surgery. Boop.
Surgery on what?
On that guy.
And he points to Alastar, who's
Right.
in like a coma now.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch?
He actually live streams it anyway.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv.
Not the hospital.
Yeah, the hospital.
The hospital.
Tuvalu is still around.
Feeling woozy and honestly just really not liking the hospital.
What is wrong
But-
with her?
Shut up, hospital.
Literally the only likable character thus far.
He invades her personal space. But obviously he seems to know what he's doing, and she kind of just like sits back down on the bed. And she looks over at the Scotsman. He's still just like sitting there. Or...
He's kind of standing there watching you. His body language has kind of changed where he's like turned his shoulders. So he's just like aware of where Creed is in the room at any given moment.
Glade grabs her right wrist with her left hand and looks at the Scotsman.
He just arches an eyebrow and then he pulls out his data center, hits some buttons, and then all of a sudden there's this buzz of pins and needles in your hand that kind of travels all the way up your arm.
So once Alastar there is good to walk, we're good to walk out of here?
Are you sure you just want to walk out of here, Glade? It looks like you've made some powerful enemies. And it looks like maybe some of those close to you might have also made the same enemies.
Well, what are you suggesting?
I'm no a good man, Glade. I respect you far too much to pretend to convince you otherwise, but what I am is a man of my word. You work for me, and you have the full backing of everything I can bring to bear. And I don't ask much in return, honestly. You can ask Frank if you don't believe me. It's a cushy job. All I need is that book.
Do you mean to say, if you get that book, then you'd help protect my crew?
Aye. Everything in my power.
I'll think about it.
He cocks his head and he opens his mouth, and then you see an enormous hand shadow across his face and touch his nose, and you hear boop.
The patients need to sleep. They need to rest.
Scotsman goes, well, I'm no a medical professional. Sleep on it, Glade. We'll get your friend there, and he nods to Alastar. We'll get him right as rain.
Glade lays back on the bed.
Okay. Does anyone wish to do anything this evening? Or shall we fast travel to tomorrow morning?
Nope.
Joke's on you. Can't fast travel. There are enemies nearby.
Oh no.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's always enemies nearby. So
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm building all of my walls far away from my bed. I don't know who's just hanging around.
It's actually Glade is her own worst enemy. She can have her fast travel.
If this were Skyrim, there's just a mud crab behind you.
Dun, dun.
That's Smooth Holly.
You have not paid your tariff.
I thought the other person had to pay the tariff. I didn't realize I had to pay the tariff.
Clack, 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 clack. You have not paid your tariff.
Dun, dun. I'm just imagining the Skyrim battle music playing in the background as well.
That's very good.
At some point, the various strange noises stop coming from Pyotr's room, and you hear classical music.
Damn. It's like Taylor Swift or
It's a major tonal shift from that room.
Juno has taken all of the tissue in the rest of the apartment and tried to stuff it into her ears until now, so she doesn't notice the difference.
Okay.
You managed to find this solitary unspoken for pieces of tissue in the apartment. And yeah.
Are they crusty?
Highs or lows?
Oh my god.
Lows.
Pyotr hasn't been here long.
Pyotr hasn't been here long.
Lows.
That's a 1 on a d20. They are the least crusty tissues.
They're
They
so
are-
supple.
So
Juno survives
comforting.
Smell of coconuts.
You sit down. Juno survives another day.
Okay. Alistair, could you go ahead and roll 1d6 plus 3 for me?
Oh, I'm going to use the fancy new dice.
Roll high.
Hell yeah.
That's a
yeah.
6.
Yay.
New dice.
So
Okay,
9.
the new dice have been doing pretty well across the board.
Yeah,
I got
that's
a
right.
1. You got a 15.
And
you got a 6.
the d20 I just rolled was so Catherine for Christmas bought us all dice. In some mine are in the podcast colors. And now that I have access to the Instagram, I can confidently say that I will post a picture of them.
Alex's are pink, as are all of his other dice I've bought him. Glade's are
She
smoky.
couldn't get like a teacup poodle or anything, so she has me instead, I guess.
I really want like a 10-year-old daughter that I can just buy pink things for. But
What is Pyotr?
Alex will suffice. And
10-year-old
then
daughter.
Tom's have little bullets in them for Alastar. So just one dice shopping for all of our characters.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
With 9 regained hit points, I'm almost at max HP again.
Yeah. The hospital knows his fucking
Hospitals.
shit. The hospitals.
Hard.
100%. The only thing the hospitals hospitaling or harder than hospitals is boobs.
Oops.
Ah,
Mhm.
nice. Respectable.
Okay. The nanocock crows on the new day. I'm so sorry, guys. That was inappropriate. The
Don't you fucking talk about Pyotr like that.
the nanocock giga crows. A new day has dawned on Gate City.
Pyotr wakes up to a lovely rendition of Nessun Dorma, which has somehow survived through the ages, playing, and throws open the curtains in his suite to see just kind of the very start of dawn light in the station's day cycle.
You got it. Is that song you said, is that royalty free? No?
No.
Okay, well, you hear it. You don't hear that. I'm kidding. You hear a version of that is royalty free. Great. Where did Juno crash in Pyotr's pad?
Alex, in Pyotr's apartment, what would be the furthest room away from the room you were in?
So there's like a little study kind of there's like a central hallway type of kitchen living area.
Okay.
And on the other side, there's a little study that like no windows outside or to the station. But like just a couple of books in there, a data center, like a little desk, that kind of stuff. And there's kind of a pull-out futon.
And that was the furthest spot away from
It's
where
the
you
furthest away you can get.
were. Okay. Juno is reluctantly curled up on the pull-out couch.
Did she not pull it out because she just doesn't like understand?
She's never
that?
seen a pull-out couch in her life. She is curled up on the couch, not realizing that it's a pull-out couch. 100%. Her ears are stuffed with not crusty tissues, and she has pulled parts of her robe kind of on top of her so she doesn't get a cold.
Cute.
And does Juno still have the book?
100%.
Okay. The next morning dawns.
Oh, I just had That was a terrible... I just had the worst dream that I was in this terrible apartment, and there was this guy who was just shouting and gurgling and making all sorts of... what am I sleeping on? And what is this? And... oh my god. Oh my god! Pyotr!
Juno, what is it? Why are you still here, by the way? Oh, that's right. I asked you to help today. Excellent. What's the issue? I don't understand.
There's nothing that can be fixed now. It is all ruined. What do you need my help with?
Well, the speech. It's only in a few hours. You better get up. Do you have any sets of priestly accoutrements and garbs that aren't ripped?
Well, they were in my house. However, my house exploded.
Well, I don't think I have much by way of clergy garb here, but I'll see what I can throw together. And Pyotr's going to go back to his room and grab some clothes and kind of like throw them out the door at you.
These are woolen pants and vests that look like they have moth holes in them.
Oh, sorry, that's the old stuff. And he throws out some more stuff. And as he keeps throwing, you notice that the quality of these garments is actually getting nicer. Like at first you're like, oh, it's like, it doesn't smell bad. And then it's like, oh, that's okay. And then as he keeps throwing, there's some stuff coming out being like, that's never worn. That's a designer outfit.
Giga Gucci.
Giga Gucci.
Oh.
I think I can work with this, Pyotr. Thank you. And
Anytime, help yourself. And Pyotr starts whistling.
Juno, finally, for the first time in 2 seasons, kind of changes her outfit.
Damn. You're going to be so much harder to draw now. Okay.
Juno is in a kind of business style suit that actually fits her very, very well. High-waisted, lightweight wool pants that are very high quality, never worn. A beautiful blouse and a kind of a longer jacket that is suspiciously feminine for Pyotr to have owned.
It's all stuff that was just here. It was stuff that it was in the suite. So,
And/or has the same proportions as like a real doll or something.
Also, there's this maid
none of this
outfit.
is Pyotr's stuff, okay?
Maid outfit or something over here. But never mind. She wraps the book in her robes, in her original robes, and leaves her robes there. But she does look quite smart. She looks quite smart looking, quite businesslike. She finally, before she gets changed, has a shower, which she is frightened to go even take a look at the washroom, but is pleasantly surprised, and has a shower and kind of does her hair the best she can and does her makeup because she always carries it with her just a little bit, even over 2 seasons of being chased across the
That's
galaxy.
believable. Yeah, that's incredibly believable.
Yeah.
No one's fighting you on this.
Yeah, she looks quite smart and ready to be presentable, really.
Okay.
And she stuffs a few extra articles of clothing into her purse as well. Just an extra shirt or an extra this or that. Just so if she does need to have a disguise in the future, she may perhaps have advantage.
Sure.
She stuff a mob doctor in her sleeve
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
She's like, I actually stuffed like an Epoch class capital ship in my purse. Okay.
And a lightsaber.
This is actually the most reasonable yes and you've tried to get me to do so far. So I'm inclined to allow it for now.
Pyotr, I have one more thing to ask of you.
Pyotr steps out of his bedroom and his hair is groomed and combed back.
It's
his
the
stubble.
blackest I've ever seen.
His stubble is shaven down. There's a little bit of like kind of a tasteful mustache there, but nothing too thick. His collars are unyellowed. His suit is pressed. His shoes are shined. His buttons are all done up in the correct buttonholes. And the elbows are not patched on the jacket.
Damn.
How does this look there, Faith? How am I doing?
My goodness.
Oh, well,
Mr.
I forgot my belt. I need to grab that. He goes to the lamp.
Yes.
Sorry, finishing touches, I dare say I almost look presentable. What do you think?
Well, Mr. Maitland, I do dare say that you clean up all right.
I thank you, Faith. That's quite kind of you.
Now, I have one question for you. I need to carry this on my person. And she pulls out her gun.
Ah, yes, of course. What is a Faith leader without firepower?
I've never thought about that before, but I quite like that. I was wondering if you have a way to secure it to my body, possibly in a discreet manner.
Pyotr looks at a pile of like discarded clothes and like a gimp suit in there, and then just like shakes his head. Is like, no, I'm not suggesting that, and just like opens the kitchen drawer and takes out a roll of just like tape. It's like, this might be the best I can do.
Oh my God, are you guys gonna Die Hard it? Are you gonna do a Die Hard? You gonna Die Hard? Are you guys gonna do a Die Hard?
Now, Faith, let's crawl through the ventilation ducts to the library, I guess.
Remember he tapes the gun to his back. Remember he takes the gun to his back in the Die Hard?
Yep, we're going to tape the gun to her back.
We're going to tape the gun to her back. Can we do it to her side? Because she's not incredibly flexible.
Yep, we do that.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to say that her blouse is quite like a light linen blouse, black pants, gold belt, and all of her gold long jewelry, all of her bracelets, all of her rings, and her hair is kind of like half done up.
Roll any dice you want, and then call it yourself before you roll highs or lows.
Nice. That's a 93.
Woo!
All right. Okay. Doug has not shown up yet.
Well, Juno, I don't think our friend Doug is going to join us here, but maybe he'll meet us at the library. I have faith in him, I do. Now, yeah, seeing as we're all done up, shall we? And Pyotr gives you a look that is like almost just kind of like wholesome and cheery. It's like, shall we? And kind of extends his arm.
Juno does a once over to make sure that Pyotr does not look sticky in any way, and
he surprisingly does not,
and determines that he does not look sticky, and takes his arm.
He's sticky. No.
Right in the crease.
Venus flytrap, baby.
No, he's not sticky.
No! She has the book wrapped in her robes in her bag beside her, along with just an extra article of like an extra blouse or something along in there, and her gun tightly taped to her side underneath this flowy blouse that she has and the jacket that she has on. I do say, let's get going, Pyotr.
Well, tally-ho. And off we go to the library.
Okay. I see you rolling some dice, and you know what? All evidence to the contrary, I do trust you. So, yeah, I'm assuming you'll let me know when it is time for me to know.
Yep.
Glade and Alastar, you guys both wake up a similar time, and you can just hear softly, boop, boop. You look over, and you can just see the hospital looming over Caspi's bed, just touching his nose. Boop, boop.
The best medicine is love. Boop. But also medicine. Boop.
Glade gets up slowly, feeling, her body out. Does it feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. You feel like 8 points better if you had to put a number on it.
She looks around. Is any of her stuff around? She was relieved of her, I guess, at this point, it was just her whip.
Yeah, your whip is at the foot of your bed.
All right, she grabs that.
Okay.
And double checks if her leather satchel's there.
Her leather satchel is absolutely there.
Okay, she grabs those things.
Alastar, you get up. You can see Glade fossicking around.
Do I have all my things as well?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It looks like you were, like your armor was taken off and like your weapons, but they're all like beside you. Creed is sitting there. He's kind of like in a chair, like a shitty plastic folding chair, and he's just kind of like chin on his chest. And as you start moving around, he kind of jerks awake. Ugh. All right. Looks like you're up and about, kid.
Did you have a good nap there?
Shut the fuck up.
Someone's ornery. Got to get him some prune juice, I think.
Yeah. It's good to see you, kid.
Likewise. Though, again, not really anticipating this sort of reunion.
Me either. I thought you were dead.
Likewise. And it's at this point that I'll be kind of trying to put on the armor, and to do so, I had to I imagine they had to take off my shirt to kind of fix me up.
Yeah.
You would see in the infirmary, if you were looking, Glade, he's a big man and he's just covered head to toe in scars and clear bruises and broken bones and huge cuts across his back and his arms and everything. And you kind of start to understand why he's wearing a jacket most of the time. And I'll put on my shirt and put on the body armor. Yeah, I saw you get blown up. I watched it happen. You know, it's not really something most people walk away from.
The Union found me. We landed there. The last thing I remember is us landing in Gordo City. It's Devolved 4, and I remember us getting jumped in the dockyards there. And then I don't really remember anything else. And I woke up, and there's this woman, Dawn's son, just ahead of the Union there. And apparently they found my body. I'd gotten blasted deep into the guts of the docks. They said thank God it was Union who found me and not Meatsec. They didn't know anything about what might have happened to you. I assumed you got killed. It was another 8 months or so before I was able to move.
Did you get off planet shortly after that?
I was able to trade for some information from Dawn's son, but yeah.
Well, you only beat me off planet by a few years, so...
Fuck. You can see his head just dips back down, and you can see him putting together all the scars and bruises and broken bones on Alastar's body. If I had have known, kid.
Nah. It's not your fault. And for what it's worth, I'm glad they did find you. You would have made a terrible hamburger for someone.
You're lucky you might have found the only guy in the universe who laughs at your jokes.
Yeah, well, friends like these. What are you doing here? Is this where you came to the Scotsman after you got off Sevold?
I didn't come to the Scotsman. Oh, that was a good idea, kid. I like what you did. That was good thinking. I had a lot of time to think while my spine was rebuilding itself with what medicine they could sneak down to me, the Union. They had their own troubles, God knows. But I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and Jax is the only one who knew where we were going. I couldn't let it go, and I did some digging, and I don't know. It looks like he's been working for the Jesuits for a long time.
Yeah. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, I saw that. You obviously figured it out.
It didn't make sense what he was asking me to do.
What was he asking you to do?
Find a book.
A book?
Yeah. Which was not what we were sent to do.
Shit, what time is it? Glade looks around. Is there a clock?
7:47 a.m.
Oh, Alastar, when were those two idiots going to make that speech?
Not until noon, right? Or was it earlier in the day?
We can say noon.
I don't remember. I knew it was today.
Yeah, I don't think I actually set a time. So noon works.
Yeah, we've got time, Glade.
Honestly, I really don't know where you stand, Alastar. But you've helped us out thus far, and I don't know what you plan to do next, but I gotta go see about a preacher in a shit face.
This Valentine's Day. Honestly, I'm sad.
Fuck you, Catherine. That was so good.
I think I'm best at really quick one-liners.
Oh, good lord.
I'd watch
excellent.
that movie. There have been worse
me.
movies.
That's excellent.
Uh,
To answer your question, after what I just did, I don't really know whether I stand myself. But I will do what I've done since encountering you and your friends and try and do right by you.
Okay. So you're coming along.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I say we leave. Let's get out of here.
Are you going to stick around here, old man?
I don't know, kid. And he kind of looks at you, Glade.
Glade looks at him.
He looks back at Alastar. What's going on here? She looks like a whole ass thing.
Yeah. Fortunately, I respect every version of the whole ass thing. So,
All right, good enough
You're
for
a
me.
last thing. Fuck you.
sometimes.
He just kind of nods. He's like, good enough for me. Where are we going?
What? Wait. He's coming along?
He's handy in the pinch.
You trust him?
Yeah. He's the reason I'm efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should have seen him when I first got my hands on him.
A virgin?
Yeah, I recognize how that sounded. I taught him I'm gonna dig myself deeper into a hole here. Are you guys armed?
Yeah.
Fuck. No. I'm sure I can get something from the Scotsman or Frank. I lost my rifle back at Juno's place. So,
Oh.
fuck.
Okay. As you are saying that, Frank walks in the door.
Glade gives him daggers.
He says, "Oh, thanks. I needed knives." No, I'm just kidding. He looks at you and he kind of raises an eyebrow. He says, "Don't fucking look at me like that, Glade. You're the one who did some dumb shit. And look, you're still alive, which means he likes you. So."
She holds up her wrist. Her right wrist.
And he just sighs. He says, "I think he knows you better than you think he does. He said, you have the run of the armory. Take what you want."
Fuck you, Frank. Thanks.
Very mixed messages there, Glade. You know your way around?
Yes?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. You go to the armory, who is a dude.
Your armor goes fine.
I'm the armory.
it's just the hospital with a different apron.
Yes. This is
Massive
Boss said we were gonna run somewhere.
amazing. That's exactly what the fuck it is. Great.
Scotsman on the
Just worried what
surface.
happens when somebody says they're going to go hit the head.
Alex.
What apron does he wear for that?
Please no.
We need to be sponsored by those blankets that are like waterproof.
Oh, yeah, the
blankets.
fuck blankets. Yeah, the ones that you keep seeing. Yeah, the ads for it.
Fucking what?
Do you guys not see the fuck blanket ads? Maybe Catherine and I have
fuck
messed up our algorithms. Maybe
We've just outed ourselves.
we just outed ourselves a little bit.
They're like waterproof blankets, so you can just like all of the ads are just like them pouring jugs of water onto the blanket, and then the bed underneath doesn't get wet. Sorry, you don't get these ads.
You guys don't get these ads?
You guys don't get these ads.
Well, I'm sorry that Catherine and I fuck harder than all of you.
I'm just sorry you guys don't do laundry.
So are our partners, but that's neither here or there.
Oh my god, can we move on?
Yeah, we certainly can.
The armory.
The armory. Okay, so we don't have to go over exactly what you pick, but a couple things to bear in mind. If it's an artillery piece, probably not. Let's go for a probably not on that. And also, yeah, bear in mind, portability and stuff like that too, lest you pick like a Barrett 50 cal or something along those lines. I don't even know if they have the stats for a Barrett 50 cal in there, but anyway, doesn't matter.
Even if they did, they'd probably be like, range 100 yards.
Yeah, 100 yards. Exactly. Love Call of Cthulhu as a system. They don't really fully understand how bullets work. Great. Amazing. Okay, we'll leave you to pick Juno and Pyotr. You guys make your way to the Usagicity campus.
I'm afraid I don't have a private car, so we'll have to call a cab.
I'm sure I can call somebody.
Oh, I see you're both staring at me. Highs or lows?
Highs. That means you
Sure,
got lows.
It's the 3 at OT20. This is great. This is so good.
What kind of car are we getting?
Beautiful car. You call the church's taxi service. It's Gorge Catherine just gave me a look.
It's going to be the guy in the big hat and the scar. 100%. He's just our driver. He's like, ha-ha. I got you.
The car pulls up. It is beautifully chrome plated. You get in, and Church of His Light campfire songs are playing. You know, like, my soul is an awesome soul. He souls from soul. You know, like that kind of stuff. And the driver...
Peter's never been so glad not to have ears.
100%. He looks back at you and he says, Faith, my name is Flitz. And thanks to our Patreons for giving me that name. He says, my name is Flitz. I'm such a huge fan. I can't believe I get the chance to drive you today.
Ah, well, it's nice to meet you, too. I didn't know that there were so many fans of historical astroeconomics.
Oh.
Why, you, good sir, you were... I can't hear you very well.
Faith, is this guy giving you the ick?
Almost instantly, but
The ick has already been given.
He pulls out
it's
a gun.
long time.
No.
Pulls out a gun.
You miss my friend, Flitz. You misunderstand. This is my friend.
Academic advisor.
Academic advisor. Advisor?
She's been having some trouble with letters and numbers.
You could shoot him, but don't.
He points, he starts to bring the barrel down.
But truly, Fitz. And she grabs the barrel of the gun and kind of lowers it.
Of course.
Flitz, I appreciate your devotion so much. It has been a difficult time for us in Gate City and across the galaxy.
Truly, all the infidels running free and not embracing his light.
Flitz, look into your warm heart.
He closes his eyes as tight as you've seen someone close their eyes. He goes, okay.
Your heart, your warm heart, warm as the fire of soul. Don't lock others out of it. We need to look to truth and understanding.
He slowly opens his eyes. He's like, I love you too, Faith.
And love...
I get it. I see what you're saying. I fully receive your message.
Juno looks over to Pyotr.
While you're looking into your warm heart, you may also want to look into some academic upgrading or something. Just, something more lucrative than driving vehicles for religious propagandists.
Okay, you shush. Flitz, you are doing great. And, I haven't seen how good of a driver you are, and I have had great drivers in the past that I am very fond of. You should be fine.
He bites his lip.
Juno just puts her whole hand over Pyotr's face. Acceptance. Is that not the lesson Soul taught us?
I thought that Soul's main lesson was to burn away the light of the unbeliever, but I believe you. I believe you. It's okay. Of course.
We can call a cab. It may be quicker at this point.
No, I'll drive you. I really want to drive you. And
all I'm saying is there's never any chit chat with Stephen, you know?
Juno looks to see if
in the cab, fuck your life, you go on your way.
Juno looks over to see if the little locks on the sides of the car have been cut.
As you look over, you do see them go and they close, and he just kind of hucks the gun onto the dashboard. He says, okay, I'm sorry, where are we going? This is my dream. I don't want to mess this up.
And you're doing great, Fitz.
The library. We're going to the library.
Okay, that's 750 meters away. We're still on Usagicity campus. Okay, no worries. I'll get you there. And he goes to, start driving. And unfortunately, it was still in reverse. And he immediately backs up into the parked car behind him. And the entire car vibrates. But then he leaves. And you guys get to the library.
750 meters away.
750 meters away. Yeah, it takes you about 12 minutes.
Faith, are you going to shoot him, or are we going to tip, or...
What?
I'm uncomfortable with both of these options. I mean...
I know there has been some damage, perhaps, and I know that our presence can be shocking at times, so I am happy to personally pay for the repairs for your vehicle and for the vehicle that perhaps got backed into as well.
And here is a brochure for Spatial Awareness 101. There's a compatriot of mine on campus who teaches it.
He takes the pamphlet. And then he looks at you.
It's a pamphlet with like a stick figure, like learning how to look over its shoulder and stuff, and like swinging its arms around, but like not hitting other people.
This is already incredibly helpful, but Faith, of course. I just want you to know, we're all looking out for you today. Nobody's gonna get close to you.
Oh, and she kind of looks around. Thank you, Fitz.
Flitz. With an L.
That was Catherine, perhaps. Flitz.
If that was Catherine, then he just offered up the with an L. Like, that's canon. That happened.
Catherine? No, Flitz.
Flitz, yeah.
Thank you, Flitz. I look out for all of you. That is my job.
Okay. And he closes his eyes again, as close as you've seen anyone close them, and he keeps them closed, and you guys both get the insight that this is probably the time for you to get out of the fucking cab.
Yeah, Faith, I think it's time for us to get out of the fucking cab.
Okay.
I think the exit's on your side. I'm just gonna...
No, I can get out first. But
okay,
no. I'll unlock that. No, but
okay.
You're making this
Shall
weird.
I get to the trunk?
No, I got it. And she gets out of the car.
Amazing.
Oh, Faith, I wanted to say, I won't touch your shoulder because I know you're not big on physical affection.
Only from you.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's fair. Well,
Continue.
You know, I was going to say something nice, but let's just go now.
No, say something nice.
He said Fritz, Catherine, whatever he said his name was, he said that they wouldn't let anybody get close to you. I think she'll find a way, dear. And Pyotr turns and starts walking towards the library.
Damn.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Good.
Alrighty. Alastar and Glade. What are you guys doing?
All right. So Glade grabbed a couple weapons.
Mm-hmm.
She grabbed a Marlin rifle.
Neat.
With
To shoot marlins with?
Yeah, what does a Marlin rifle do?
It's a harpoon.
Why are we shooting marlins?
They know what they did.
They know what they did.
with maybe a scope on it.
Yeah, sure.
Woo!
Ooh.
Okay, wait, sorry. Actual question. Is this like a harpoon gun?
No,
It's a
no, it's a rifle.
.444 Marlin rifle.
Okay.
So it's
I
a
was
hundred.
really hoping there was a scope on a harpoon gun. That's all I just said.
Yeah.
It's not a harpoon gun. So its range is 110 yards. If I get a scope on it,
Yeah, we'll play it. Well, it's theater of the mind, but we'll play it like you're gonna have more than 110 yards. Yes. Yeah, for sure.
so yeah. So just so I grabbed that. And then I grabbed a 12 gauge semi-auto shotgun.
Hell yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yep. And I grabbed 3 grenades.
Mm-hmm.
And would like a larger combat knife. Does that constitute as a medium knife or a large knife?
If it's
It had like machete beside like large knife, but I didn't know. And it had like carving knife as a medium knife. like, in
how big
between
are you
that.
thinking? Because like a machete, like if you're thinking like the length of your forearm, then for sure that'd be a large knife. If you're thinking like a big kabar or whatever,
Like,
let's call it a large.
woo! And then I also grabbed a medium knife.
Okay, great.
And I have my whip still. Yeah.
How are you guys? Where are you guys going?
Just for visual though, she has like the shotgun and the rifle like crisscrossed on her back.
Crucial.
Hot
It is
fuzz.
very crucial.
Very hot.
There's shotgun
Yes.
shells like on the buttstock of the shotgun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm also imagining like a bandolier of like shotgun shells as well, like that kind of situation.
And the grenades.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Body armor?
What?
Body armor?
Yeah, I would just have my body armor from before.
Good.
For sure.
Could I get those really slick, quick reload things for a 6-shooter?
Yeah, like a speed loader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I'd
so
like
smart.
to get 3 speed loaders.
for sure.
Sweet.
Yep, easy enough.
I hate that you're just allowing
I know.
all this to happen.
Part of me is like, fuck.
We're gonna need some hot dice in a second here.
Yeah.
It's like when you go in a video game, like, and there's just like a stash of like healing potions and ammo and stuff, and you're like, oh, good God.
I also gave him an opportunity to leave a lethal NPC behind, and he was like, I'll go to the library. We're in danger.
As you guys are taking all of this, these weapons from the army, there's just a little henchman beside the army who goes, right, boss, I got a question now. Armory, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Right, so you see that? That's a 44 Marlin rifle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, that was first made circa the 1900s or the 1800s on old Earth, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that over there, that's a pump action shotgun, right?
Semi-auto.
And that was, that was around about the same time, right?
Yep.
And so that was, the 2000s or the 1900s on old Earth, right?
Yep.
And now we're now like 1,000 years in the future from that, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of like, somebody trying to fight in the Second World War in 1945 with something like a longbow, right?
And he just reaches over to the henchman.
The henchman drops dead.
And he looks at all of the rest of you in the armor, and he just goes like,
Hands that heal can also hurt.
Well, when the armory boops.
yeah, when the armory boops is not a good boop.
Yeah. Okay. Glade got all those weapons. Turns to Alastar. Where did you leave them last?
Left them at Pyotr's apartment.
Where's that?
Usage City campus.
Oh, fuck. So they're already there.
They're right by it, yeah, but I don't think they're going to get there super early. It's not like either of them are super keeners who want to get there.
Cut to Pyotr and Juno sitting in an empty auditorium, just kind of like looking around, twiddling their thumbs.
There's like a bunch of staff setting up and awkwardly glancing in their direction every now and then. Like the lights aren't on.
Every
Like,
once in a while,
it's just
Pyotr points at something and like is almost about to talk, and then just like shakes his head. Like, nah, never mind.
Only absolute megalomaniacs would arrive to their own speech 4 hours in advance.
I agree. Do you guys want to get brunch or something? This is great.
No.
Great. No?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, we got time.
Meanwhile, Pyotr, I thought you said that this was a big deal.
It is. Now, I'm just going to try this cred stick in the vending machine one more time. It should work this time. I would really like that carrot muffin.
Boop. Denied. Insufficient funds.
Well, maybe that means the Doug has taken all the funds out already.
Oh, that could be good.
That could be good. That means the Doug should either be here or perhaps on his way off station at this point.
Well, should we just sit down again?
I guess so.
Okay.
Not on those chairs. Those weren't very comfortable.
Can we get new chairs? Cut back.
Nah.
All right. You good to go?
Yeah. No, on
I thought we were
hindsight.
cutting back to you guys at a brunch table.
Yeah, Creed is just like, I couldn't eat another bite.
Like, he's just like arms crossed, like just super like upset. Just like constantly looking at the time.
Full pancakes in front of me.
It's like you barely touched your banana strawberry pancakes. They usually don't do banana and strawberry, and I asked them to do that for you, but that's fine. Like, I
only
understand.
wanted a black coffee.
You gotta live a little. Where'd you find this one, Alastar?
You know, you're probably right about a couple observations. However, people do things at their own pace.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Maybe you're gluten-free. Anyway, do you want to go do something?
Yeah. No, it's been a good 45 minutes. The service was excellent.
It was really fast.
Oh my god.
Several hours passed.
We gotta get out of it somehow.
Cut to Pyotr just like staring at the light in an empty theater. Just be like, a little to the left. A little. No, too far. I'll come up there.
As you make...
We have to have fun before we all die. No.
Fuck me. Okay, that's good times. We've had good times here. It's been a good run, hey?
Why we have had?
No, never mind.
What? The fuck?
You guys make your way to the Usagicity campus. As you guys are there in this auditorium, eventually it does become this kind of like bustling scene, and this auditorium gets converted into a very almost like a very intimate, closed-in space. Like they bring in a bunch of like kind of temporary walls, and you can see before they brought the walls in, you can see a bunch of catering and kind of like stove set up. Everything is like set up, so basically that's gonna be like a very seamless enterprise, and there's actually like quite high budget. Wrench Ducktangle doesn't show up, unfortunately, but you can see a camera crew arrives, and then another, and then another, and then another, and then one comes up to you, an anchor. He says, "Hi, I'm Nick Dipples."
Good morning, Nick Dipples. It's a pleasure to meet you. And he reaches out and shakes his hand. And for once, it's an actual handshake, and there's no like greasy sliminess to it.
Thanks to another one of our Patreons for the name, Nick Dipples. And he says, Wrench sent me.
Wrench is an old friend. I'm so glad that you could make it. I understand he's very busy. I think you're going to like my little speech here. Of course, Faith Juno Angevin, my good friend.
Faith, amazing. Would you be willing to make a statement on all the allegations that have come out against the Church of His Light recently?
Well, I think that's quite enough of that for Dick Nipples.
It's Nick. Common mistake. Common mistake.
Yeah, Pyotr stares him down.
Middle school. And then...
now, what I wanted to say was, how many outfits do we have here? How many media outfits?
Well, there's us. Then there is Nano Fox.
Oh, good. Yes, Nano Fox, the tiniest fox with the most information. Quite the tagline they have there.
Giga CNN, Cyber MSNBC. Then there's...
Cyber certainly describes what I did on MSN back in the day. I'm glad you could always make it. Is there anything?
Sorry, there's one more. There's there's Algebra Jazeera.
Well, I'm not touching that with the 10-foot pole. I'm glad you could all make it. Please let me know if there's anything. What's the broadcast plan for this? Is it going out live to...
it's super live.
And then I expect later on a data barge to the other systems, I would wager.
Yeah, absolutely. Can
Can I roll psychology on him to see if he's telling the truth on that?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a 98.
Pyotr has no idea. Absolutely zero idea. Could be full of shit. Could be telling the truth. You realize as you're trying to read this guy, this is like a lifetime
goddamn shifty media type.
100%. Absolutely giving nothing away. Porcelain poker face.
Well, you strike a mean bargain there, Nick Dipples. I hope you enjoy the show.
Me too. Because Wrench says, he'll bury you if this isn't good.
Well, Wrench, Wrench, he's an old tough nut.
Yeah.
I'm sure your Nick Dipples just can't deal with Wrench Ducktangle's tough nut sometimes.
Okay. I'm a little upset at
Pyotr leans in.
How easily you've identified the office dynamic. You're very close.
Enjoy the show. And Pyotr goes back to his spot. And high fives Juno at the same time.
Gino's just standing there, just like totally confused. Her hand just like almost both hands up and almost like
Surrender.
like surrender stance, and he high fives one of them, and I kind of go,
I like that, like, Juno just, like, instinctively daps Pyotr up after he just, like, gets up in a media's face. The crowd arrives. Some mingling occurs. Yes, Juno.
How many days has it been since we went to go see the doctor?
And where's Doug?
My question first.
If memory serves, I believe you went to go see the doctor, like, yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yes.
So this been one day.
Yes.
We all gain 1 hit point.
Correct, unless you have a major wound.
Okay, went on
Ryan
top
said
of,
to Alex.
or no?
Yep.
Oh.
Unless you had a major wound.
I do.
No hit point for you.
Yeah, what major wound do you have?
I got shot
He got
in the
bullets.
chest.
Yeah, he got his bullet in his body.
Oh, right. Couldn't you do that before we went to go see the doctor?
I'm almost at max HP. We're fine.
I'm having a flashback to season 1. What is that?
Lift was not close to max HP.
That's fair. Okay.
Is the dean there? And is Doug there?
The dean arrives, yes.
Okay, is Doug there?
Doug, you don't not see Doug, no.
Okay. Pierre's just going to check his data center and see if there's any messages from Doug and just send like a question mark to him. And then right after, just like, trust you.
There are no messages from Doug, but you do have notifications from your banking app that it's like, you know, first there's the notification of like, you've received a whole fucking goddamn hell-ass pile of money. And then it's like, your balance is below 3 credits. Insufficient funds denied at vending machine on Usagicity campus. And then if you keep reading the notification, it says, we know we probably shouldn't say all this in a notification, but we're insecure. And then as you text Doug, there is unfortunately no response.
Okay. Pyotr goes up to the dean and goes, esteemed dean, thank you so much.
Yes, Pyotr Gaius Maitland.
An honor to be here, sir.
Oh, it is an honor to have you. You know, truly, this wing being named after your family, I believe it will bring Usagicity from the backwaters of the galaxy into the forefront of academia.
I should say so. And he gestures broadly at all of the media outlets and goes, there seems to be quite a buzz.
Yes, this is true. The only time they've ever come to the campus before, would you believe, was because of all the murders.
Well, I also had a hand in that, I guess. But that's for another time.
That's for another time, and you don't tell me more, so I'm not liable.
That
but
sounds good.
Yeah,
have
we
you seen
opened
a student called Alicia around?
Oh, poor Alicia. Yes. No, yeah, Alicia. Yeah, she, unfortunately, you're the volleyball star. Yeah, she was going to be like valedictorian. No, absolutely. Unfortunately, she just suffered an accident recently, a terrible accident. She lost her volleyball scholarship. Yeah, no, she had to join the Reaper Corps.
That's a shame. Anyways.
Fuck.
How long do we have here until we get started?
We should be getting started promptly, probably within the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Very good. Now, I assume it's been arranged that the good faith here will be providing an introduction?
Certainly. Yes, absolutely.
Now, Dean, I do have a request.
Faith. Many criticize you.
Oh, sorry. I thought there was going to be more to that sentence, but is that all?
I thought there was 2 and I changed my mind. How can I help you?
I do believe that it is appropriate for me to pray, and possibly pray with Pyotr before our speeches today. Now, you said 10, 15 minutes before we start, but I do require a place where we can have just a little bit of quiet and where you could provide me with a communion.
I see. Well, this is a secular institution.
But
But what?
we are certainly welcoming of all faiths, aren't we, Dean?
Are you not welcoming of all faiths?
Oh dear. And he looks over at all the cameras. And he says, we are an ecumenical institution. Yes, of course. A quiet area. Yes, there's an office right across the hall.
And communion.
I don't know what you mean by that.
The body and blood of Soul.
Oh, we have Ritz crackers. Nano Ritz crackers.
Sure, and wine, perhaps, as well.
Oh, of course we have wine.
Okay.
Yes.
May we take an aside to this quiet office with the Ritz crackers and the wine for a few moments before we begin this evening?
Absolutely.
Can Pyotr roll psych on Juno?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a fail.
Okay.
Come with me, Pyotr. This is important.
Lead on, Faith. And Pyotr's going to follow her and then look back at Nick Dipples and just, like, try to make eye contact with somebody so somebody knows where he's going.
Nick Dipples is like, sees you look and then just goes...
Just a head
shakes
bob.
his head a little bit, like a little head bob, and then...
Pyotr goes, I have never known what that symbol means. I've never been able to interpret that.
And he never will. Yeah. You guys go to the quiet office.
Pyotr's kind of looking around, turns to Juno and goes, this isn't really the time to try to convert me, Juno.
I'm not going to try to convert you, I promise. But Pyotr, I do believe that we are in danger. Did you hear that driver? I know that he's a part of the church, but he gave me an eerie feeling.
I mean, frankly, most of your followers give me an eerie feeling of one sort or another.
Well, eerier than most in your case, then. But they are good people just looking for answers, and I imagine so is he, but he won't let anyone get close to me? Does that not strike you as odd?
It was, and this coming from me is big, it was a little possessive.
It was, wasn't it? I kind of do like being possessed. In kind of a weird way. But no matter.
And immediately the scribbling of 1,000 pens.
Pyotr reaches for the bottle of wine.
Yes. Have a drink if you so please. But also, I am going to bless, whether or not you believe in it, these crackers.
Well, bless this wine too while you're at it.
Soul, you guide us with your light. And you fill us with warmth, and you let us see beyond the cloud and the darkness of judgment and hate. Your care provides for us, and I follow your light, even though it may seem like I stray sometimes, and like I may stray soon. I always follow your light. Give us strength. Provide us with strength in trying times, for it is always darkest before the dawn. May his light shine upon us.
Here. And Pyotr throws the empty wine bottle aside.
Highs or lows, Juno?
Lows.
All right.
I'm starting to get to know your dice.
Both of you guys regain 1 luck.
1 luck? That's what you give me? Fine. I'll fucking take it.
I really like it whenever Catherine does like this big kind of heartfelt speech, and then a dice gets rolled, and it's like, actually, it was shit.
This is my life.
You get 1 luck from your religious beliefs. Pyotr gets 1 luck from
alcoholism,
staving off withdrawal a little bit more.
All right.
I think it's time, Juno. Would you mind doing the honors with the opening and all?
Of course, Pyotr.
After you.
You head back into the room, and a kind of quiet hush, expectant hush, fills it. The dean steps up onto the dais that has been assembled there, taps the microphone.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. We are very excited to welcome the Maitlands into the fold of the University College of Gate City Technical Institute. Without further ado, Faith Juno Engevin has agreed to bless us with a prayer at the beginning of this ceremony. Faith Juno Engevin is a controversial figure,
and then he leaves the stage.
Wow.
And he welcomes you up.
Juno, with a strong stride, walks to the middle of the stage and looks over how many people are in attendance today?
It looks to be somewhere between like 30 to 40 people, but they are all very well dressed, and you can see the cameras are all set up and like pointed at you.
I was really expecting 1,000 behind the 30 or 40, but that's fine.
No.
Okay. But it is being broadcast live, no delay.
According to Nick Dipples. Yep.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to be here today, and I know that I am a controversial figure, or have been deemed one. But today marks an important day, and a day to champion knowledge and opinion and research, dreams and science. And I know so many also expect me to be the voice of reason. Well, that, or perhaps a scapegoat, a controversial figure, or a martyr. But there is no reason to this fractioning of people. There is no reason to the violence, no reason behind the hate we have seen here recently. And unless we decide to see past our differences and open our hearts to light of new people and different people, to open our hearts to the pursuit of understanding and reason. And she begins to cry, just slow tears. It's until then, until we can do that, I can only provide you with the power of knowledge, that which this library and its texts will provide you. And I hope that in your pursuit of knowledge, she wipes tears from her eyes again. The pursuit of knowledge within these walls provides you with the desire to understand and to find reason and to care for one another, like Soul has cared for us. You know, I have found reason. I have found care and understanding in the most unlikely of people. And despite his rather irritable disposition,
Pyotr smiles broadly.
much like a good book, he continues to surprise me. It is my pleasure to introduce to you today. And she looks around at the crowd and she sees some church followers, and then she looks and she sees Dr. Kripke
Standing there with some roses in his hand.
She even looks and she sees Splits in the crowd. It is my pleasure to introduce to you today a true scholar, an honest man despite his faults, and a friend to our church, my dear friend, Dr. Pyotr Gaius Maitland.
Applause resonates throughout the room. And the dean, who's standing beside you, Pyotr, he just kind of touches you lightly on the shoulder. And he says, "You need no introduction. Again, thank you so much for organizing this, for getting you both here."
Of course. Of course, esteemed dean. Thank you. Pyotr shakes his hand and is going to step on the stage.
By all means.
Pyotr slowly shuffles up to the podium at the center of the stage and realizes that that light should have been a little bit more to the right, actually. And looks around the crowd and just takes it in for a second. And one person that Pyotr is looking for in the crowd is either his father or mother.
As Pyotr sets his speech out on the dais, you look and you see a doorway open, and Gaius Galileo Maitland steps out, resplendent in a tuxedo that was obviously tailored to the exact contours of his body, looking at a glance to be 10 years younger than Pyotr himself, with to many it would be an unreadable expression on his face. Maybe a slight smile, but Pyotr can see the cruel calculation in his gaze as he waits for his son to give his speech.
And is Doug in the audience?
You do not see Doug.
Thank you, Faith, Juno, and Given, for that lovely introduction. And thank you all for being here. And to our esteemed Dean, it is truly an honor and a pleasure to be here for the opening of this, the Maitland Library. I am Pyotr Gaius Maitland, and it's my honor today to speak to you about the most recent, breathtaking discoveries in the novel field of historical astroeconomics. I know that we are few in number here in this room, but that this address is being broadcast throughout the Gate City sector and eventually in others. I know many of you may be wondering why you are seeing this right now. What's an old academic like me doing talking to you on so many channels? What's this old fogey got to say? You'd better change the dial before he takes out some old, crazy book.
And Pyotr reaches into his briefcase and pulls out the next set of notes. He doesn't have the book.
I was going to shoot you.
Well, what if I told you I wasn't here today to talk to you about some old book? What if I told you that through the most powerful scientific methods known to humankind, we could solve the greatest mystery of all, the mystery of the future? Through the science and art of historical astroeconomics, we together, using massive amounts of data and the brightest minds in the galaxy, can determine what is to come. What if I could tell you what tomorrow has to bring? For you, for your family. Some of you, maybe not that many of you, have reviewed my work, and some of you might think it's just numbers. Just numbers, numbers. My good friends, it's never just numbers. One of my favorite professors used to say that in the wrong hands, numbers are a weapon, and the right ones, their deliverance. Well, let me tell you, my friends, the numbers have been in the wrong hands, and they've been in the wrong hands for far too long. Just numbers.
Pyotr slams the desk.
Numbers that you've been hidden. Numbers that no one has told you, like the number of months of oxygen left for 90% of the settlements in the Empyrean sector, which is 6. Or numbers like 30,000, which is the number of outer colonists who are needed to support the lifestyle of a single sole citizen. Or the number of you who didn't know that you haven't eaten a real piece of meat in years and that you've been feasting on reprocessed human flesh, and that number is far too few. Just numbers, my friend, but they're numbers that are now in your hand. And I have one last number to share with you.
And Pyotr clicks something and a display comes up behind him.
And you'll find this at page 1492 of my work. And that number is a number called the yield curve. Now, a yield curve shows you when something is no longer profitable, when it can no longer be sustainable. And this, you'll see, is the yield curve for the galaxy buried deep, deep within my work. This yield curve, well, this yield curve goes pear-shaped in a year. The science of historical astroeconomics is not precise. It cannot tell you something down to the day, but it can give you a range. And I can tell you that our food systems, our water delivery, our oxygen precursors, the ability for gate travel to sustain itself, the ability of the galactic banking system to provide you with the things you need, has, at most, 16 months left. Numbers can be a weapon, but numbers can also be your salvation. And I cannot do anything except put the weapon in your hands. See to your families. And good luck.
Damn.
Pyotr walks off the stage.
Shit.
As you are walking off the stage, you see the dean, his face, just the blood all having drained out of it. Your eyes flick to your father, who just, you can see this, like, shocked rage just simmering under the surface of his porcelain mask. And then his chest picks up in rage and he goes to take an angry step towards the dais. Glade and Alastar, you guys approach the Usagicity campus before the lights all go out. Inside this room, plunged into darkness, Glade, your data center, buzzes. It's ringing, but the light coming from it is green.
They're coming.
Who?
Your enemies.
Jesuits?
Yes. And more.
What do you mean more?
I cannot stay. I've almost broken through. I can get to the angel. I can save you all.
What? No.
Data center shuts off.
What was that?
Assuming Alastar would have heard.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if it was thinking out loud from the phone.
You got it.
Oh, I guess also Glade would turn on a flashlight.
For sure.
So they probably have. Is it like pitch black? Like, is it the whole station that shut down? Or?
All of the lights in the area. So there's
Like,
some residual glow from like some of the other areas. As you turn on your flashlight, all the lights power on again.
Fuck, we need to get in there and get them out now.
All right.
Of course, these idiots decided to go do the stupid speech.
Did I hear what the phone call said, or just what you were
Yes.
saying? Okay,
Yeah, you did, yeah.
perfect. Do we need to worry about that?
I don't even know fucking knew about that.
Let's get them out of there.
That's my priority. Let's go.
Yeah.
As the lights come up in Usagicity, there's like this kind of like susurrus of panic. The dean has gone back to the dice.
Oh, not to worry, not to worry. Normal power outage happens all the time. Well, not all the time, obviously. Only some of the time. We're quite rich here.
And you can see your father just staring daggers at you, Pyotr. And then your data center buzzes.
Pyotr's just gonna hold up the 1 minute sign to his father and take the data center out and answer it.
Okay? It's
Hello.
From an unknown number.
Every number is unknown to Pyotr. Hello.
My friend.
Doug, you're all right. How are you? You've missed it. I mean...
No, I saw. Look, it doesn't matter now. They're on to you.
Who's on to me, Doug?
The Jesuits. I caught a tail. There's a number of them bearing down on you. You two have to get the fuck out of there.
Right. I will let the Faith know, and we will, I don't know, call a taxi or something.
Okay, good. I have to go. I think they might have heard me.
Take care of yourself, Doug.
Hangs up.
Faith, we have some heat on us. I think it's time we go.
What the fuck was that? Pyotr.
Doug and I are going to burn the system down. The whole thing. Yeah, no, the whole thing. I think that's what you call economic terrorism.
Well, I hope you don't burn yourself and us with it. Let's go.
No, just the broader socioeconomic modalities. We should get a cab.
A hail one for us. Let's go.
Okay, I call Fuck Your Life Taxi.
Have we heard from Glade?
No. Can I look around the room for Glade?
I didn't see her.
Glade is not in the room. I will remind you guys, you have data centers. You can... you know.
Good point. Pyotr takes out his data center and goes, Data center, is Glade Walker in this room?
Juno just calls Glade.
While Pyotr spends the next 10 minutes arguing, I don't understand. Could you repeat that? Glade, your data center buzzes. It's Juno.
Chancers.
That was different than I expected. We have to leave. Fast.
No shit. Are you in there?
We are, but I think we can get out if we leave now. Where are you?
Approaching the building?
Which exit?
Northeast corner.
We will meet you there. Pyotr is calling a taxi, which is apparently our fastest and only means of We're like, man, we're about to have this firefight. Let's call a fucking taxi.
Call an
I
Uber.
feel like I call Fuck Your Life Taxi, and Steven is standing right beside me and goes, Ah, my good man, how are you?
I'm on smoke break.
Well, I tell you, we need to burn rubber on the way out of here, so there'll be some smoking. See, burning rubber is back on Earth. They used to have these things called tires.
We don't have time for
Anyways.
the Pyotr. Let's go.
A burst,
Juno, do you have the book?
I do.
a burst of static interrupts your phone call for a second.
I check for the book. Make sure I have the book. Do I have the book?
You
Brian?
have the book?
Don't fuck with me, Brian.
You have the book.
Thank
You
you.
have the book. And then another burst of static in the phone call.
Juno, you still there?
You can hear it.
Yes. I'll meet you there.
And then in the corner, the far corner of the room, as you guys are making your way to the exit, ignoring your father, a red line appears.
Fuck.
Another angry red line.
We have to leave.
You hear
What?
calling through this crack in the fabric of reality. Be not afraid.
What is that?
Pyotr wants to grab his father's hand and just pull him.
You're not close to Gaius.
How far away am I?
He's probably about like 20 feet away.
Are we still in line?
Yeah.
Glade,
Juno, what the fuck is happening?
something's happening. There's something otherworldly
Okay.
coming through the wall.
Look, can you just get to the exit?
We're going now. Pyotr!
Pyotr's gonna run to his father and grab his hand.
Okay.
Limp to his father. Pyotr's gonna hobble to his father and grab his hand.
Juno, what are you doing?
She's on the phone with Glade. Pyotr!
Yeah, no, got it. Goodbye.
Don't burn yourself down with it. And she runs to Glade.
As Juno runs out of the room, you run to your father, who is looking shocked at the shatters in reality that precursor gate travel. And he looks back at you with wide eyes. And if there was a single moment of doubt in Pyotr's mind that your father had been lying about understanding the physics of gate travel, it is expelled in the complete shock and awe that you are seeing there, the absolute lack of understanding. And as you reach over to him and you grab his hand and he almost instinctively shrinks away from you, you look back to the crack in reality, the angry red lines, and a figure, a man in a wide-brimmed hat, steps through, takes the hat off, and you see the scar-faced man. Black, pulsing lines crisscrossing his face, going up through his neck. His eyes, even them, like the whites of his eyes bulging with black veins. He kind of shudders a little bit. He says, I have heard the word that you are opening a library. I am here for a book. And that is where we will end tonight's episode. Thanks for making it this far. So ends episode 8. Punigate summary incoming shortly. This podcast is edited, mixed, and mastered by me, Brian Gashgarian. All the music in the podcast is composed by me. Special thanks to McMangus from our Discord for their amazing ad. And as always, to Alex, Leah, Tom, and Catherine for lending me their talent for this. You can find us on Insta, TikTok, and Twitch at The Stars Aren't Alright, or on Blue Sky at TSAA Pod. You can support us on Patreon at the link in our bio, and chat with us on Discord using that very same link. But as a reward for making it to the end, I would like to remind you that the pangolin is the only mammal covered in scales, which it uses for protection. Most of all, thanks to you for listening, and we'll see you next time.